What up, Panther Nation, Pantherologists? How are we feeling? It's Friday. Woohoo! TGIF. Let's go. Let's go. I am preparing for my trip. I'm going to be in Charlotte. So I was glad I was able to come on here live before I leave tomorrow. Might be able to go live later. We'll see. But today, I'm bringing this to you live and in person. I'm waiting for my God's chicken to get here. I'm waiting for some Chick-fil-A to get here because I am starving. I have been doing some work this morning, got up at 6:30, went to the gym. It's been a good start to the day, man, and getting all this put together for you guys also as well. Let's get into the chat real quick. What up, Panther Nation? Marcos Cash is in here. Mad Chatter saying, is Chark back? As of right now, the injury report shows that he was limited on Thursday, but he's been practicing. So obviously we will see as time goes on for Chark to get the start. We'll see as the time goes on. So for us to have a chance, Sanders needs to step it up. Yeah, Mad Chatter, for sure. More slant wide receivers. And Youngs needs to go through progressions. We're going to dive into that. Cornerback corp is weak. Yeah, it's shallow right now. CJ Henderson's going to have to step up. Honestly, CJ Henderson is playing for his really with what I said last week, or not last week, but this week. I think it was on yesterday's live. Like CJ Henderson, this is his opportunity to really shine and make himself his presence known. If he wants to step up, he has to step up. This is the second time trade Horn, or third time it's on GM. Well, the only thing is you can't. The thing I'm thinking of is you don't pick up his fifth year option. Then you just see if he stays healthy, and then obviously you just kind of let the chips fall where they lie, in my opinion. What's up, Mr. Toxic Black? What's going on, man? Appreciate you joining the live stream. Guys, make sure you pound that like button. Oh my gosh, you're already at 10 likes. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone. Derek Carr and his 3 wide receivers will have a day on our secondary. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. But from right now, as the injury reports go for us, at least, they have DJ Chark's hamstring was limited yesterday in practice. Bicep for Taylor Moton was limited in practice as well. Obviously, the hamstring injury with JC Horn did not play. And then on the New Orleans Saints side, they've got guys, Jawan Johnson, who was limited on Thursday as well. Jimmy Graham was limited in practice as well. Ryan Ramsky was limited as well. Kendre Miller was limited as well. And JT Gray for them as well was limited at practice for the Saints. Season here saying, what's up, TGIF? What's going on? C, thank you for joining the live stream. Guys, make sure you pound the like button. That's all I ask, all right? Is this his third year for Horn? Yeah, this is Horn's third year. Yeah. You could get a second or third. We'll see. We'll see what they decide to do for his obviously what they'll do. All right, let's get right into it, guys. So some first things first. Quote of the day. I always like to I'm kind of adding this into the show. I want to start off with a quote of the day. This was my high school yearbook senior year quote, and this is a quote that sticks with me through in and throughout. Everything negative, pressure, challenges is an opportunity for me to rise. And I kind of feel like this is something that needed to be said for us. Like, yeah, everything negative with these injuries, losing week 1, that brings pressure, but these challenges is an opportunity for us to rise as a team. And that's the reason why I chose this quote today. This is one of my favorite quotes, and obviously my favorite basketball player of all time. Huge Kobe fan. He's my favorite of all time. Behind him, there's some other guys, but Kobe was the man. I've got 3 of his jerseys, so I'm a big Kobe fan. Chark need to get out there if he's going to give Young a chance. Yeah, I'm hoping Chark gets some comes and starts in place. All right, let's get right into it. Some news and updates. Thomas Brown got some high stakes game plan. The Panthers offense is under some scrutiny after starting the season, and it was a bit disappointing start, right? Offensive coordinator Thomas Brown isn't taking it lightly. In his recent press conference, Brown addressed the lack of vertical threat, hinting hopefully an explosive game plan to reignite the offense. So can he turn things around against this New Orleans Saints is the question, right? Can he turn things around for this offense, right? Tyreek Cohen, homecoming, he's an explosive weapon if he's even 75 to 80% of what he was, right? He's back in action after a long hiatus due to the injuries he had between a ACL tear and an Achilles. With some deep connections with the Panthers, special teams coordinator Chris Tabor. His return is a heartwarming story. So will Cohen's come back be a spark to the team that we need? Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see if he gets some playing time, right? Hopefully so. I'd love to see Tyreek Cohen out there. And if he can even be, like I said, if he can even be 75, 80% of what he was, he can still, I think, be very, very explosive. JC Horn dilemma. Obviously, we're facing some defensive challenges on the front end, right? On this front with the cornerback room. JC Horn is obviously nursing his hamstring injury. Evero remains optimistic, but he acknowledges the tough road ahead with him out. So the question is, who will step up in Horn's absence as they prepare to face this Saints passing attack, right? Who's going to step up? Is CJ Henderson? Are we going to finally see him play like a first-round pick that he was when the Jacksonville Jaguars, actually, draft him at number 1? Can he come back and be a guy to step up, right? Brian Burns, contract issue, right? A contract standoff between us and Brian Burns still is causing some waves through our organization. He had an impressive week 1 performance. He's yet to secure that payday, which he desires. Obviously the situation is perplexing us as fans and experts alike. So could this standoff really jeopardize our future and the moral of other players seeking big contracts, right? So, as these are some issues and news and updates that I wanted to bring to the table today, talk about. So hopefully we can get that contract done. Hopefully Thomas Brown, hopefully his game plan we'll get to see. JC Horn, hopefully someone can fill in his shoes and step up and be a guy to, be a lockdown corner. And hopefully I would love to see Tyreek Cohen get back on the field and be, like I said, 75 to 80% of what he was. And we would have an explosive playmaker right there. All right. All right. Let me get in the chat real quick. All these coaches know their reputation is on the line. Also, hopefully, they will get together. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that Thomas Brown can come with some clever and aggressive play calling. I'm hoping that we can see more of him making the play call. Hopefully, I'd love to see Frank Wright kind of hand over the reins to him, because I feel like Thomas Brown's got some very clever play calling ideas in his playbook. Probably some more aggressive approaches, more explosive plays. I think that the biggest thing where Thomas Brown is going to be, easy completions, right? Pass pro relief. Saying this yesterday, quick game, have some quick game, Bryce Young needs to have some QB footwork, where he's just doing 3-step drops, under center, or if he's in gun, he just needs to be doing some 1-step drops, get the ball out quick, right? No RPOs, right? Just a 3-step drop back under center, 1-step drop and gun, some quick game reads, those kinds of plays are, clean, easy completions. It's quick. It's easy. If he can find himself some half field reads down the field, right? So the kind of, you want to see QBs, you know, why is quick game such a big ordeal? It's easy. You know, you got your hitch routes, your fade routes, your slant routes. You got and it's easier to block and it gets completions. So that's what you want to get, see Bryce do. That's the play calling you want to see because it keeps the players on the move. And it's a lot of downfield play calling, and it's a lot of and you're moving towards the end zone. That's what we want to see, right? So that's to your question, Josh. This is fun. I'm gonna take that off. All right, let's get into it. 4-13 season. Are you ready, guys? Oh, Marcos Cash. Don't be too negative, man. Don't be too negative. Remember, again, I'm going to tell you this again, Marcos Cash. Rome wasn't built in a day. We got to give this time. Also, another thing is, guys, you got to continue to think about the Detroit Lions last year. 0-6, right? And they came back and won that division, and they made the playoffs, right? So just remember that. Well, they didn't win the division, but they made the playoffs. My bad. They didn't win division, but they made the playoffs. So just remember that. Okay? I still think we can go 8-9. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Josh. I still think we can pull an 8-9, 9-8 season, right? If we pull an 8-9 season, we can still make the playoffs. Last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went 8-9 and made the playoffs, right? So can Chin play CB? Yeah, he's lined up at nickel corner. Can he play outside? I'm not too sure. He's very versatile, so maybe he can. I don't know. We are nowhere near being competitive. We're still in. I would consider us still in this kind of like rebuilding stage. But do we have enough talented team to go 8-9 or 9-8? I believe so. I think our pass. I'm going to dive into some other things here shortly, but I think there's some things that we should be excited for, right? Yeah, but Rome didn't fumble on the 40-yard line. Fair enough, right? They didn't. Okay, they didn't, and that's okay. It's week 1, man. We can't just be negative based off of 1 week. I still believe in this team. Okay. So the key things here for Bryce, though, I want to talk about some key things here with Bryce. Okay, precision timing. Right? This is big. I was just talking about that with the quick game, right? In the fast-paced world of the NFL, precision timing is the name of the game. So the ability to connect with his wide receivers must be on point, especially when facing this New Orleans defense that is actually pretty damn good and still is pretty damn good, right? So with blitzes coming from all different directions, which is what I'm predicting that the Saints are going to be doing, right? Young's quick, accurate passes will be crucial. That's what I was talking about earlier with the quick game, right? Easy completions, right? Get easy completions, okay? So can he establish the same chemistry he had with veteran tight end Hayden Hurst and keep the Saints secondary guessing, right? Can he get the ball to Thielen or Mingo or Marshall or, if Chark is playing, can we get that? Can we finally have some separation there, right? Obviously, the key thing to any of this, right, even though I'm talking about quick game, easy passes, easy completions, right, can these wide receivers get, the separation that we're looking for, that we've been wanting from this team, right? So can the Saints, can we keep the Saints secondary guessing is the question, right? Can we see some chemistry with these other wide receivers with Bryce like we saw with Hayden Hurst in week 1? That is the question. All right. The Black Cat Panther podcast is in here. The Black Cat Panther podcast is in here. What's going on, Q? What's going on? The Black Cat Panther podcast. We're in here. What's going on? Appreciate it. I really hope Chark is ready to play. I hope so too. Q's in here. Yep. Sanders is not it. Chark is never on the field. TMJ is a no-show. Thailand is, I think you meant Thielen, but that's okay. Thielen is old and hurt. Mingo's a rookie. Chanel is not a pure. We have no weapons. Marco's Cash is all negative, man. It's all negative. Season here saying, yo, Black Cat Panther podcast fam. Let's hold on one second. Is my food here? Hold on. Yeah, my food is here. This is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. I wish this was sponsored by Chick-fil-A. I'm starving, bro. Yeah. All right. I'll eat in a minute. I'll eat after I'm done. Q's getting in the chat. Love it, Q. Appreciate you. Sanders is that guy. Just wait. Yeah, we got to give it some time. I mean, DeAndre Swift didn't do anything week 1, and then look what DeAndre Swift did last night. You know? Yeah, the key with our wide receivers is separation. I was saying that. You know? So the precision timing, I think that's not going to be the biggest issue for Bryce, but it is something that's going to be something that he's got to improve on, because if you go watch the game film, Jesse Bates, you know, those 2 interceptions the timing was off on some of those throws, right? But Jesse Bates did jump the route, I think both times, honestly. But there was a couple throws that Bryce missed that he could have made. And it was just off target. It was, you know, something that you learn, right? So we'll see. After watching the 22, the biggest opportunity to improve is staying in the pocket. I think we need to beat New Orleans. Well, I'm going to be optimistic with you guys, and I'm going to give you my preview and prediction, but let me finish up these 3 keys for here. So the vision beyond Alabama. So what exactly does that mean, right? Bryce Young's baptism by fire came in form of 2 interceptions by Jesse Bates, like we were talking about. So it's a reminder that the NFL is a whole different beast, okay? So for Young to succeed, needs to improve his field awareness and make confident decisions under pressure, right? So with Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Lattimore, these guys are going to be lurking in the Saints secondary. You know, Young must elevate his game and manipulate these defenders with his eyes and seize opportunities when they arise, right? When I was watching some of his game film, you could tell when he was looking, we're going to have to break down his game film one day. I'm going to have to break down his game film one day. And I'm going to show you what passes 1 and 2 that he's looking at on some of these plays. So we'll break down his game film one of these days, and I'm going to do that. Anyways, so the 3rd down challenge, that's another one. Okay, this is going to be a razor thin game, right? This is going to be, I think it's going to be a close game like Atlanta, or not like Atlanta. I mean, I think the Atlanta game was a lot closer than the scoreboard show, but that's neither here nor there. The Panthers obviously have to keep the chains moving. That's why I said these quick read plays. Quick read. No RPOs. 1-step drop, 3-step drop, 3 steps drop under center, 1-step drop under gun. Get the ball out quick, right? Flats, screens, hitch routes, slants, list goes on, right? And it's easier to block. So he's going to have more time if he does that. And it gets completions and it moves the ball. So that's what I want to definitely see, right? Because Young's efficiency on 3rd downs will be critical in this game, right? He's going to be facing challenges like, with our receivers struggling to create separation, which they're going to have to do. I felt like the conservative play calling in week 1 needs to be better, more aggressive, though. I think the Young knows, and acknowledges that the need for better execution in key moments. So this is a chance really for him to prove, can he lead this offense to a victory, right, in this game, right? So this game's going to be a well-fought game, but in the end, can we bounce back? Can we make a statement against the Saints? Okay. I think with the combination of talent, hard work, coaching, I think I know Young is aiming to turn the tide for us here. Okay. To secure this much needed home victory. Okay. So we will see Monday night if they do anything I'm suggesting here. Right. We'll see Monday night if they're doing anything I'm suggesting here. Marcos Cash said Sanders looked good behind the Eagles O-line. They made Swift look good last night. We'll see. I mean, our O-line was not bad though, guys. Okay. All right. Our O-line was not bad against Atlanta. We got to realize that. Bryce Young needs to understand that it takes a few seconds to get separation. He fled the pocket, not looking down the field right as they got open. Matt Chatter, so I watched this game film. It wasn't that. It was more the fact that he was looking at one route and decided to go with another, right? That's what he's got. So when in these certain plays, there's 1, 2, and 3 most of the time. And then depending on how wide set it is. Okay, there's a route 1, route 2, route 3, route 4, whatever. How many, depending on how, what wide set they're running, what kind of style of offense they're running. And so the plays that he did make the throws on, so the ones that Hurst was making the catches, those are route 1s that he was throwing to. He was throwing to Hurst on route 1. But then there was time where Thielen was open and he was supposed to throw it to Thielen, but then he decided to go the other way. So, we'll see, right? We'll see how things will turn out, and hopefully he'll make the better decision when it comes to the routes. O-line is a concern with injuries. I'm not too concerned with our O-line, okay? I get that Christensen was the most consistent there at left guard. I get it. It's a big blow to our offensive line. But I'm telling you right now, I still believe that we have the depth there on the offensive line than we've had in the past. I think that, I think Mays could fill in nicely. Throckmorton has played a lot of snaps at both left guard and right guard positions. Zavala, doesn't sound like Zavala is going to be moving to the left guard. It sounds like he's going to be staying right there at the right guard. So, and, obviously this is either Jensen, Throckmorton, or, Mays' time to shine. So we'll see who's there. And also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we still got Deontay Brown, which Deontay Brown didn't look too bad in the preseason. He wasn't as good as Zavala, but he wasn't as bad as these other guys. And obviously, I haven't seen Throckmorton play, so I don't know what he really brings to the table because we signed him after the preseason. Mahomes will run all over the field, but as he does, his eyes are down the field. I think Bryce is doing the same thing, right? I think Bryce is doing the same thing. I don't think Bryce is not looking down the field. I think he's trying. Sometimes I feel like he's trying to make a play that's not there. I felt like in Atlanta, he tried to make a couple throws that weren't there. And honestly though, if you go look at his PFF grade, PFF said that if 8 of the balls that he threw out of bounds, right? If he wouldn't have thrown those out, right? Or he made those completions there, he would have been at a 69% completion rating. So, I'm not too worried about his eyes. Kevin Hubbard's coming in here. I think so. As long as we keep pounding. Yeah. Kevin Hubbard. I love it. I love the confidence there. I love it. I do hope our team comes out Monday night. Prove me dead ass wrong. Marcos Cash, I'm still staying optimistic. Honestly, last week I predicted on my Friday show that the Carolina Panthers were going to lose to Atlanta. Then I go on to the Black Cat Panther podcast, and Brian Burns is playing, and those guys kind of, were leading me to the other path, right? And we lost. But when I have done my season previews back saying, which games we're going to win, right? I was giving y'all my season prediction. This was the game that I predicted that we were going to win. I predicted that we were going to lose week 1, and then we were going to bounce back in week 2. So as I get into my preview and prediction, I'm going to say, you're going to like what I got to say. All right. I know our O-line was really good, but now Brady is out. I know. Josh, I hope I'm right too, but I think we've got some depth there. We've got better depth than we've had in the past. Facts. May's got to produce. Mace is going to have to produce for sure. And I'm hoping he will. Right? He has looked good in the past before. Mace has played well at the left guard position and the right guard position. There has been times where he has produced. So let's hope that he can do the same thing again. Once Corbett comes back, moves Zavala over next to Icky, offense will be fine. Yep, that's exactly what I'm thinking they're going to do. Guard is not as damaging as if he lost an offensive tackle. Yeah, it would be I think it would be a bigger loss if it was like Icky, right? Like if it was Icky instead of Christensen, I think that would be a bigger loss. I respectfully disagree. He fled too early. Offensive line held up most of the time. Well, that's fine. Mad Chatter, you have your opinion, and that's why I love it. I love that people disagree, and we can agree to disagree, right? Everybody has their opinion, so I'm cool with it. All right. Q predicted. So Mace is going to play left guard. I'm going to believe that Mace is going to get the start at left guard. That's my prediction. I don't even know if they've come out and said who's going to play at left guard yet. It sounds like Thomas Brown said that they're going to be rotating guys in and out of that position between Jensen, Mays, and Throckmorton. And I don't know if that's because they want to keep the Saints defensive line guessing. I'm not really too sure. What's up, Jen? Appreciate you joining. Q's coming in saying, I've had a feeling we were dropping to ATL, but I will not accept New Orleans. I feel that, man. We swept them last year, guys. I mean, we swept them last year, so let's build off of that at least. For this team has too much uncertainty. This is likely a building season. Don't expect too much this year, looking like a 3-year process. Yeah, Jeff, I mean, I just wouldn't want to see progress, right? I don't want to necessarily say we're going to win 10, 11 games, right? When I've done my season preview and prediction for each and every game, I predicted us to go 9-8, right? So that might not happen. But if I still could see this team finishing 8-9 at least, I think they still can finish 8-9, Jeff. I really do. And if you finish 8-9 in this division, you could possibly win the division because the Bucs did it last year. But we'll see how New Orleans pans out, obviously, throughout the year and after this game. So we'll see. Facts Q. Yeah, what's up, NFL the Kids in here saying, I'm sick. Just wanted to drop by and say what's up. NFL the Kid, I hope you feel better. And I appreciate you dropping by and coming in the chat. Guys, make sure you pound that like button. There's 16 people watching, 13 likes. So let's get 3 more likes. I would greatly appreciate it. 24 is the year I believe we take the jump. We should take a jump, right? We should take a jump after each and every year. We should be taking a jump forward and forward, right? Especially with a young team that we have with a lot of uncertainty, a lot of developmental players. We should just continue to be progressing forward in the right direction. And if we're not, then that's a coaching problem, right? Now, could it be a talent problem? Sure. But then it also could be a GM problem, which his job, he's on the hot seat, in my opinion. So we'll see. But we got to, the thing right now is for Scott Fitter, if he wants to keep his job security nice, not on the hot seat. And if he wants to ice it down a little bit, he needs to sign Brian Burns. Marcos Cash is telling him get well as no problem, man. All right, let's move on. So will the Panthers bounce back versus the Saints? Will the Panthers bounce back versus the Saints? Right? I mean, the stage is set for this NFC South showdown, right? The only team in division to lose was us last week. Both teams are in, for the Saints, we're both in new eras. They have fresh faces under center. Okay. So I think that's one thing we also have to put in perspective as well, right? They've got a lot of fresh faces as well. Cameron Jordan, I think, is out for at least 6 to 8 weeks, so he won't be playing. They've got some guys injured as well, who have been in limited participation throughout the week. This is Bryce Young's homecoming. Okay. He had a rocky start, throwing 2 interceptions against Atlanta. I think he's ready to make his try. I'm hoping that he's ready to make this home debut and make it a good one, right? So can Young bounce back and light up the night? I think he can, right? Derek Carr, he had an impressive start. He threw over for 300 yards. Got the victory there against the Tennessee Titans, even with Alvin Kamara sideline due to the suspension, in which he's not going to be playing against us either. Obviously, Carr really likes using Rashid Shaheed through the air, but also they like to throw him in like a Deebo Samuel style, rushing the ball. So that's something we need to really capitalize on. Obviously, covering Chris Olave, Michael Thomas is going to be the key matchups there. Our secondary going up against their wide receivers, that's going to be a key matchup there. So can we keep the momentum going from our defense, at least from the pass rush wise, right? Can we cause some disruption there in the backfield and get Derek Carr, throwing some picks, right? Let's make Derek Carr look below average, right? Because Derek Carr has had his moments in the past where he will have a big game, but then yet he'll go out there and be like Brett Favre and throw 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions, right? So can we be a formidable defense in that secondary against these wide receivers, right? Now that kind of leads me into the pass rush, right? Okay. One key factor here that could really tilt the scales in our favor is our pass rush. Okay. The Saints allowed 4 sacks last week against the Tennessee Titans. Okay. Carolina sacked Desmond Ridder 4 times. So if Young can be who Bryce Young that we thought he would, being a first round pick, can he take care of the football and avoid the turnovers, right? Right? Because if our pass rush is doing what they're doing and he's taking care of the football and not causing turnovers, this is a game for us that we can win. So the battle in the trenches is going to be huge in this game, right? So those are my keys to this game, right? Let me get in the chat here real quick. I want to be fair. Playoffs is a huge ask for a rookie, but this division is so bad it's tempting too, right? Yeah, it's tempting to think about. It's very tempting to think about. Remember, last year the Bucks went 8-9 last year and still made the playoffs. What I want is 4 good quarters of offense, win or lose. So sick of offense going to sleep in the 3rd and 4th quarter last 3 years. Yeah, the biggest thing is our offense taking care of the football, our wide receivers getting separation, and our offensive line continuing to block well for Bryce Young, right? And then for Bryce, it's him getting the ball out quick, making the right reads, taking care of the football, not turning the ball over, not forcing plays that aren't there, right? They need to be running a quick game offense. What is a quick game offense? Let me explain this to you. It's easy. It's hitch routes, slants route, fade routes, screens, right? It's quick passes. It's easy to block as well. Those kinds of plays are easy to block. It's a lot of 3-step drops under center. It's a lot of 1-step drops under gun, right? And it gets completions. It moves the ball down the field. You're running this downfield style offense, right? And you're moving towards the end zone, which is what you want, right? That is what needs to be done. I think Carr will get hurt this season. Interesting, Jen. I mean, I don't wish injury on any player. But I think if you think Carr will get hurt this season, that's an interesting statement. Saints had 3 wide receivers who had 100 yards. How are we going to cover that? Front 7 pressure? Absolutely. I mean, if our pass rush can be anything like against Atlanta, I mean, and the Saints allowed 4 sacks against a Tennessee Titans defense that I don't think is as good as ours, or not even close, right? So I think that's going to be your keys there, is putting that pressure on Derek Carr, right? Getting to him, making him, feel that pressure, making him throw the ball away, or throwing it to, down to the flat, right? Checking down, right? That's what you want. Every team in this division is different. Everyone's still thinking last season numbers. It will be more competitive this season. I think so as well. Please feel free to remind of that quick offense so I learn it. Okay, so I'm going to explain this to you, Mad Chatter, and everybody else in here. So why the quick game? Okay, what is quick game? Again, quick game is easy completions for your quarterback, okay? Pass pro relief, if you ever heard of that, okay? So what is the quick game? Quick game is when your quarterback's footwork is either a 3-step drop under center, or it's gone in a 1-step drop throw, right? No RPO, right? I don't want to see any RPO, okay? Because quick game are easy completions. It's quick. It's half field reads. It gives him quick reads to make the throw, get the ball in your wide receiver's hand, tight end's hand, get the ball down the field, right? It's easy. It's easier to block too for your offensive lineman, right? It gets completions. It gets your quarterback going, right? Okay, so it's easy. It's hitch routes, fades, flat routes, screens, right? You don't really want to be running any RPO, right? It keeps the players moving down the field and towards the end zone. It's a downfield offense is basically what it is. It's a run downfield offense, right? That's what you want, especially with Bryce, and it gets him going. Definitely not wishing. I just think he will. Interesting. I don't know if Derek Carr's has he ever missed a full season? That's a question. What? Tennessee had 4 sacks. That's one piece of info I did not know. Yes. Tennessee had 4 sacks on the Saints. Yes. Last week. 17 people are watching, 13 likes. Let's make sure we pound that like button, guys, as we're coming in here. Okay, make sure you pound that like button. All right, let's get up to 17 likes. We got 13 likes right now. There's 17 people watching, so I would greatly appreciate if you just pound that like button, guys. All right. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Well, I'm glad I can make you feel a little bit better there, Marcus Cash. I'm glad I can make you feel a little bit better with that knowledge there. Mad Chatter saying thank you. Yeah, no problem. Quick game. That's what quick game is. At least from a quarterback standpoint. I'm still like learning X's and O's and stuff like that. That's why I'm trying to teach myself right now. So that's one thing I've learned so far. Especially from a quarterback standpoint. Who's going to play for Christensen? As of right now, I'm, from Thomas Brown's press conference, they were saying they were going to be rotating Throckmorton, Jensen, and Mays out, but I think Mays is going to get the start. They also got Deontay Brown, so I don't even know if he's going to get any playing time. They might be keeping him at right guard behind Zavala, so I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think it's going to be Mays from what my understanding is though right now. Yeah, big man Cade. Big man Cade's going to be starting. That's what I'm assuming. But it sounded like from Thomas Brown's press conference that they were going to be rotating guys in and out of that left guard position. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see who gets the start. We'll obviously find out before Monday night, and we'll see how it goes. So, but anyways, let me finish up my evaluation here with this game. So I'm going to give you my final score prediction here. Okay. And then I'll get in the chat with you guys as well. In what promises I think to be a closely contested matchup. All right. I'm leaning towards the Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers in this game. Last week I said Atlanta was going to win. And in my preview and prediction video for the season, when I predicted our record for the season, I predicted us to win this game. And even in that video, I also predicted that we were going to lose week 1 against Atlanta. So I'm still sticking with my guns, right? I'm going to stick with my guns here. I think Carolina is going to pull it out at home. I'm going to predict a score of 21-17. I think 21-17 is a good prediction. However, in the unpredictable world of football, let's all be honest here, anything can happen. But I feel very confident with our pass rush. I feel confident that Bryce Young is going to bounce back, make better decisions. I think DJ Chark it sounds like Chark's going to be back, which I think is going to help wide receivers get more separation because their secondary is definitely going to be locked on him because he's definitely our wide receiver 1, no matter which way you look at it. I truly believe that we can win this game. I still believe in our team. I still believe in what I saw from our defense last week. I'm taking the Panthers 21-17. Some of y'all might not agree. Some of you might like it. Some of you don't. But that's okay. I'm going to be optimistic, and I say we bounce back this week. And we better bounce back this week because I'm going to be there. So maybe I can bring some like luck of the Irish, I'm half German, half Irish. So maybe I can bring something, right? I can drink a lot of beer. I mean, if that helps, I don't know. But I think the Panthers will bounce back this week. I think Bryce is out for redemption after last week. You saw the look on his face when he was meeting up with Desmond Ridder at the middle of the field. That's a face of disgust, right? He wants to win this. I know he wants to win so bad, and he hates losing. So, I think he's got some fire ready to go. I think DJ Chark coming back is going to help some separation movement there. I think Cade Mays Cade Mays in the past has produced, and I think that we will see him produce. I think our offensive line, James Campen as a coach, is going to get that offensive line ready. After what I saw with our offensive line last week, I think we're going to progress, right? It was week 1 was week 1. We're in week 2 now. Pass is the pass. We're going to leave that there. I think we're going to see a lot of more. I think the ground game's going to still be there. We put up 154 yards against Atlanta, right? I think our pass rush is ready to go to wreak some havoc against this Saints offensive line because they allowed 4 sacks against the Tennessee Titans, and we sacked the Atlanta 4 times. Think about it this way too. Derek Brown went up against Lindstrom, who's one of the highest paid guards in the NFL, and destroyed him. Absolutely destroyed him. PFF gave Derek Brown like a 95.6 grading from his game last week. Okay. So I look forward to seeing what Derek Brown does, and Shai Tuttle, Frankie Luvu, obviously Burns, Obviously, the biggest concern here is will Mays produce, and can CJ Henderson fill the shoes of JC Horn? And I need to see Jeremy Chinn get some burn. I need to see him make some plays as well, whether it's coming off the edge or covering that nickel corner position, right? Whatever it is. But I think we win 21-17. That is my final prediction. I think we get to bounce. I think we bounce back. How many yards do you think Chark will get? Can he lengthen the field for us? Absolutely. He's got the speed to lengthen the field. Okay, which could cause separation for these, help cause separation for these other wide receivers to get open, right? And that's the thing I want to see. I want to see Bryce get chemistry. I want to see some built chemistry between Bryce and these other wide receivers, like we saw with Hayden Hurst, right? So how many yards do I think Chark will get? That's a tough prediction for me, honestly. If he can, okay, I'll say this. I could see him getting 4 to 6 catches for between 70 to 80 yards, right? And if he does that, that means Hayden Hurst will get his catches, and then if other guys are getting some other catches out there, right? I'm going to say between 6, what did I say? 4 to 6 catches, 70, 80 yards, maybe a touchdown, because he's a big body guy that you could throw it up to in the end zone, right? So I could see Chark having a bounce back game, because usually when what he's known for after taking some time off, he's known for coming back and having a big game. So maybe this is his game to bounce back. I got to sit down, guys. 16 people are watching. We got 16 likes. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate y'all pound that like button. That's the biggest thing you can do. Not going to share my prediction, Josh. It's all good. Y'all don't have to share the predictions. If you want to share your prediction, go ahead. Light it up in the chat. How do you think our defense ranks in regards to Tennessee? Well, I think definitely better, at least from the pass rush standpoint. I'd have to look at their cornerback room, but from the pass rush standpoint, we're definitely better than them. They've got some playmakers, though, on that defensive line, though, for Tennessee. I think the Panthers are still going to get around four sacks. I could see them getting four or 5 sacks, especially doing it against a Atlanta Falcons, whose offensive line is technically better than ours and anybody else's, besides maybe Tampa Bay's. But Tampa Bay's got some injury issues. I kind of want to see the PFF grade for the offensive line for the Saints last week. PFF grade, offensive line, New Orleans Saints. Week 1. I'm kind of curious. We're going to bring this up. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen against the Saints. Okay, 1-0, points scored, tied for 22nd, points allowed 7th. Okay. Special teams is 1st, overall tied for 10th. Offense is 12th, defense is 13th. Let's see. So last week, Derek Carr was 20 for 30 for 235 yards. Jamal Williams, 16 rushes for 61 yards. Chris Olave, 4 catches for 66 yards. Or is that fantasy projection against us? Maybe that's against us. Let's see. Let's view the premium stats here. So these are their grades. I want to go against pass block. Pass blocking. I mean, you look at, all right, so look, their right guard, okay, got a 35.5 last week. Left guard, a 42.0. Left tackle, 44.5. Okay, I'm not worried about the tight end. Center, 48.9. And then the only person that had a decent gang grade for pass blocking was that Ryan Ramsky, the right tackle. Okay. That means that they have some issues on the offensive line for pass blocking. All right, now when it comes to run blocking, better. Okay. McCoy was better. But then you go look at their left tackle, Trevor Penning, not much. I mean, 58.1. Left guard was a little bit better on the. And then this Cesar Ruiz for their right guard. So that means that we should be lighting up their right guard, their left tackle, and probably their center. Should be just lighting them up. And possibly the left guard as well, because he's terrible against the pass blocking. So their grade was not very good. Let's look at their defensive grade. Actually, you know what? Okay, so let's look at, what do y'all want to look at here? We've got offense. So on the report on New Orleans, what do y'all want to look at? You want to look at the passing with the pressure at depth? You want to look at the defense and look at the run defense or the pass rush? What do you want to look at here? Let me know in the chat. I'm thinking maybe we go with, look at the secondary. All right, let's start with the secondary. So you want to look at the coverage? Let's do coverage. Obviously, Marshawn Lattimore had a big game. Dude, he was targeted 6 times and only allowed 2 receptions. Isaac Yadam, he had an 86. So really, see, people are saying Marcus May, so you need to watch out for, and Tyrann Mathieu you need to watch out for, and this Paulson Adebo we need to look out for, but they didn't really perform well. He was 4 for 3. He allowed 3 catches for 51 yards. Mathieu allowed 4, got targeted 5 times, but still allowed 2 receptions for 47 yards. But how did New Orleans defense do against the Tennessee do against Tennessee's tight ends? We can look that up. Marcus May, I guess he didn't get. I guess he got a lot of burn there. So he did all right. Only 1 target. But other than that, overall, they allowed 198 yards. So basically, they only allowed 200 yards in the air. Did they allow any touchdowns? He had an interception. Marcus May had an interception. Because these guys had an interception. Any touchdowns? So they didn't allow any touchdowns. All right, let's go look at the pass rush again. So here was the pass rush that we were just looking at. Their pass rush on the defensive side, they were definitely these guys right here between Granderson, Capassanon, Saunders, Demario Davis was definitely getting some. Cameron Jordan's out, so he's not even playing. He's out for like 8 weeks, I think. So he's not even going to be playing in this game. But it looks like from the pass rush, it was these 4 guys that were really the ones lighting it up. And it looks like the Tennessee Titans offensive line allowed 5 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, 13 hurry ups, 2 batted balls down. So from the pass rush standpoint, they weren't bad. Let's see the run defense. They only allowed, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they only allowed Tarek Henry I think 68 yards. Let me see. How many rushing yards did they allow? Is there a total here? Okay, so that's receiving. Let's see. I wanted to see how many yards they allowed rushing. I guess I need to pull that up. I'm not seeing if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, they've been good against the run. Let me see how many yards Derrick Henry had last week. Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry last week didn't do too hot. He had 15. Well, he was still averaging 4.4 yards a carry, but they only allowed that 15 run attempts, 63 yards. He had 2 receptions. Doesn't say how many yards though. So, I mean, they stopped him under 100. Now, the pass coverage matchups, they're very efficient against Derrick Henry. Looks like 1 target. Looks like they allowed him for, 1 reception for 10 yards. Maybe so he had 2 receptions and maybe it was just a no gain. Westbrook, they had 4 targets. He had 4 targets, 3 receptions for 37 yards. Hopkins, I thought Hopkins had more yards than that, but maybe this is just this is based off this player. Okay. So this is just based off this player. Alontae Taylor. Okay, I see what it is. Let's see if they have any okay. Yeah. He did pretty good. Pete Warner did pretty good against the tight end there. Let's see if anybody else had a tight end against the tight end here. Marcus May did pretty good against him as well. I mean, that could just mean that what's his name just sucks, honestly. Gizmi Akwanko. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So Lattimore was pretty tough. Against the wide receivers. Y'all can't even see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry. Let's see. Look at the secondary. I did that. Pass rush did that. New Orleans has been good against the run. They shut down all Tennessee's tight ends. Yeah, Henry is not as young as he used to be, right? Rock Jones coming in and said Myrtle Beach is the #1 fan base for the Panthers in South Carolina. Maybe. I don't know. All right, let's look at something else. I want to see. Let's see the pass rushing depth here. So outside left. Okay. Did he throw any interceptions last week? No. Outside right. So outside left, he's 2 for 4, 66. And then outside right, he's 2 for 4 for 41 and a touchdown. Outside right, 10 plus yards. 1 for 3 for 15. 10 plus yards. 0 for 1, 39.6. Okay. So basically 0 yards up. Short routes basically is what he likes to throw here. And these are probably like screen plays down underneath here, right? So he's 1 for 1 for 0, so 7 yards. He likes to throw it across the middle, 8 for 9 for 91 yards, and 3 for 3. So they like to throw it up outside, right, left, outside, left, and right. 20 plus yards, it seems like. And then down the middle seems to be his key there. For the 2 for 2 for 57 yards for 10, we're around 10 plus yards right? And then they like to dink and dunk, man. They definitely like the short routes because he's 1 for 1, 8 for 9, and 3 for 3 for basically a total of, if you add that together, that's 110, 117 yards, right? And then they like to throw it up out to Olave or probably Michael Thomas. So under pressure, so kept clean, which means, right, he had a clean pocket, right? He was 15 for 20 for 75% completion, 136 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Okay. Then under pressure, he's 17 for 13 for 169 yards. So I guess Derek Carr likes to throw under pressure. I don't know. Maybe he was, maybe he's maybe that's opening up the play, right? Him moving out the pocket, trying to make a play on the outside. Not blitzed. So 29 for 19. Okay. Not blitzed. And then when blitz, he's 4 for 4. It says 4 for 4. Interesting. Play action pass. He's not very good when it's a play action pass play. A screen play, he's all right. I would say it's maybe average, in the 60s, around here. 60s is average, right? But no play action, that's when he's more efficient. So see, on the meet, we need to be so here, look at this. Statistically here, the pass depth, right? He's going to be, he's a medium to short to medium throw. He doesn't throw a lot of deep balls, right? They're going to be trying to, this is where we got to force the stoppage right here. Throws between 0 yards to 9 yards. So between screenplays, that's the quick game right there that I was talking about. See, when it comes to quick game, right? When I was talking about that earlier, easy completions, you are going to have to make sure that you force Derek Carr to throw the medium to deep routes. You need to force him to throw the medium to deep routes because he's less efficient. Make him throw deep center because look at the pass grade there. Terrible. Intermediate left, not that good. Short left, short center, not that good. Behind line of scrimmage, so that's like a screenplay, right? Not very good either. So we need to force them to actually, for us, we just need to force them to throw. We need to force them to throw the deep ball because the medium routes is where he is keying in on. So we need to be coverage. We need to be moving our coverage back off, in the flats we need to be covering probably the flats off the ball around 10 yards, and then covering the middle of the field be off the ball about 10 yards. And then that way it forces him to throw the deep ball. Because this is what I was looking at, this pass step chart here. See what happens? See where this is pass pressure when it's kept clean, stuff like that. Under pressure, not blitz, when blitz. These are all of his grades. Then when it comes to pass concepts, this is it. He's terrible against play action. Screen plays is not very good, right? So maybe forcing him out the pocket is going to be the best thing for us, right? Because play action pass, he's bad. Let me see the run game. Chris Olave, let's see so deep balls, not very good, but medium short routes, man. We're going to have to cover the medium and short routes we might have to be running some press coverage here, right? You might have to be bringing some corner blitzes in as well, or safety off the edge, because you want to be able to force Derek Carr out the pocket because he's not very good outside the pocket throwing the ball, based off of what I was reading through his grading here on PFF. So it's interesting to see. Interesting to see. Well, guys, that is today's live stream. 21-17 is my final score prediction. Carolina Panthers bounce back. That's my prediction. I broke it down for you. I told you why I think that. I told you the key matchups. I told you the key things that Bryce needs to do to improve. I told you why I predicted that score. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. I appreciate everyone continue showing your support here. Make sure you pile on that like button on your way out if you didn't do it on your way in. And as always, guys, I will be there live Sunday. Maybe I'll be able to go live. And I'm also in talks with some of the other YouTubers and content creators for the Carolina Panthers this weekend to maybe get together and do something. So maybe you'll see me live this weekend, because I'm going to the game. I'll be there Monday night. What did Dallas? So do what Dallas did with Parson. Line burns up over center and rush right up the middle. That could be absolutely. That could be a possibility. Do that with Frankie Louvu as well, right? Maybe even move Chin to the middle and throw him in there and do that, right? Chin's a big dude, so he could definitely do it. So I like that idea, though, Marcos. I like that idea. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off of here. Y'all know what to do. As always, keep pounding. Peace.